This Savannah State University library is named after my father. They did that in order to make up for the fact that they fired him because of
his activism.
Of what he was saying about unequal pay during the period. The university fired him, so to make up for that, they named the library after him, and it keeps the Garden Papers. They decided that I had done things in my life that deserved to be archived, and so every year on my birthday, I make a presentation, and they add what it is to the digital archives. So I want to add this to the digital archives.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, that is the focus. That's how I got into this. They say, God, we have all this stuff about what you did in history. You say, we noticed you worked at Goddard for NASA. Give us something on that. And that's when I went up in the attic and, and found all this stuff. And then I tried to augment it by going to, Microsoft
Copilot.
Copilot AI. And then I was kind of stunned, like I said, because they
It knew more about you than you knew.
I explained myself. It's scary, man. I said, man, I had a problem communicating this, and they broke it down. The only thing was, I noticed they had a problem with how I handle a particular effort that they kept on putting in classical physics for it, and I didn't use that. That's why I call it was a phenomenological method for accounting for the effect that drag has on satellite.
Okay.
Right, yeah. I call it retarded motion because drag.
Right.
And the satellite is moving close to Earth.
Friction. It's a friction.
It's the friction.
Yeah.
And that was the barrier.
Okay.
They had these density tables you had to look up, and the mathematics of that, and it's called a non-conservative force, as well as the harmonics is a conservative force. And so what I came up with is I said, well, and that was what that professor saw.
Right. Yeah.
I said, well, let me look at a different space. What it is I started looking at an average decay in the semi-major axis over each revolution. And I noticed it was like a circular, decay. I said, oh, I'm just going to average that and calculate the slope. And I won't have to have a table. I just fit that on the ground, and I put that value in. And that made onboard autonomous navigation possible. That was what makes GPS work. That's what makes Starlink work. And I've been asked, when I was telling this to Frank Smith over there, he said, why are you rich? Where's the minutes? I said, scientists don't make money, man.
Right, scientists don't.
He said, we big billionaires, but we never become them.
Right.
I said, when Einstein retired, what was he? He was Professor Spade at Princeton University. I said, and most of these guys are dropouts who are billionaires to begin with. So, we got to rethink what we think are credentials. I call it, and that's what I suffered from, credentials discrimination as well as racial discrimination. Credential discrimination. What is his credentials? You only got I never got beyond a bachelor's degree. I understand. But I had more impact on the field of astrodynamics than Dr. Such and Such and Dr. Such and Such and Dr. Such and Such,
What is astrodynamics? What is it?
It's the mathematics that governs the motion of bodies in space, to tell you where you are, where you can be, or something. So it's the mathematics that govern the motion of bodies in space you're studying, So it's kind of...
So you kind of extended some of Isaac Newton's work, right? Isaac Newton, you sort of extended
Isaac Newton, yeah, it's basic. Well, Kepler.
Kepler.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, my proudest thing is that it's hard to understand this unless you understand. I actually modified Kepler's equation to get what they call an energy solution to predict special satellite points like nodal crossings, the passage of perigee and apogee, the highest point and lowest point, and north and south point, when it's at its high latitude and low. And for me, just say that I did something with Kepler.
Right.
Kepler's law, Kepler's three laws is the first basic of celestial mechanics, And now Newton was rich.
Right,
Newton was one of the richest guys in this time. He's about the only rich scientist I know of, But the rest of those guys, they got sponsored, they ain't made no serious money, Thai Club, Kepler. No, we make billionaires, we don't, which is kind of frustrating to know that it's my theory that underpins Starlink, Planet, and GPS. And here I am hustling to get my kids through college.
I got a quick